As a mind doctor, I implore you, avoid this common mistake. After 60, anxiety hides here. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night with your heart racing so fast you were convinced something terrible was about to happen? That crushing weight on your chest making each breath feel like you're trying to inhale through a straw? Or perhaps you've experienced that inexplicable sense of dread that washes over you while doing something as simple as grocery shopping, suddenly making you want to abandon your cart and rush home to safety. If you're over 60 and nodding your head right now, I want you to know something important. You are not alone, and what you're experiencing has a name. That paralyzing feeling that has been stealing your joy, interrupting your sleep, and making everyday activities like climbing a mountain anxiety. It's not just getting older or being cautious, as many would have you believe. And the most heartbreaking part? Many seniors suffer in silence because they grew up in a generation where mental health wasn't discussed openly. They internalize these feelings, believing they should just toughen up, or that this is simply part of aging. But today, I'm here to tell you that anxiety at any age is not something you should have to endure, and especially not after 60 when you've earned the right to enjoy life with peace of mind and tranquility. The good news? There are specific, scientifically proven techniques designed especially for seniors that can dramatically reduce anxiety without relying on heavy medications that come with troublesome side effects. In today's video, we're going to reveal the 7 most effective methods that have helped thousands of our older viewers reclaim their sense of calm and joy. These are practical strategies you can start implementing today, even if you've been struggling with anxiety for years. So please, watch until the end because the solution you've been searching for could be just minutes away. And if you're watching this for someone you love, be sure to share this video with them, because knowledge is the first step toward healing. Before we begin, if you're finding value in this information, please take a moment to like this video and leave a comment below, sharing what you're most hoping to learn today. This helps our content reach more people who might be struggling just like you. If you're seeking more peace and tranquility in your daily life, our channel is a safe space created especially for you. Each week we share simple and effective techniques that have helped thousands of people regain their inner peace. We're together on this journey, and every step you take toward well-being matters. Click the subscribe button below and turn on notifications to receive our videos as soon as they're published. Remember, you don't need to face anxiety alone, and small changes can make a big difference in your quality of life. Now, let's talk about the first and perhaps most overlooked source of anxiety for people over 60. Nutritional deficiencies that directly impact brain function. This is the common mistake I mentioned in the title, and it's something most doctors don't spend enough time discussing with their older patients. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at absorbing certain nutrients that are critical for mood regulation and nervous system function. This isn't just about eating healthy, it's about understanding the specific nutritional needs of an aging brain. Vitamin B12, for example, plays a crucial role in nerve function and the production of serotonin, one of our feel-good neurotransmitters. After 60, many people develop a reduced ability to absorb B12 from food, leading to deficiencies that can manifest as anxiety, irritability, and even panic attack. And here's what most people don't realize. These symptoms can appear long before a blood test would show a clinical deficiency. Magnesium is another vital nutrient that declines as we age, and it's known as nature's relaxant. It helps regulate neurotransmitters that calm the brain and supports heart rhythm. When magnesium levels drop, your nervous system becomes more excitable, potentially triggering anxiety symptoms like racing thoughts, muscle tension, and sleep disturbances. Studies have shown that nearly 80% of seniors have suboptimal magnesium, yet this is rarely addressed in standard medical checkups. Omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA, are essential for brain health and have been shown to reduce inflammation in the brain, which is increasingly recognized as a contributor to anxiety and depression in older adults. Our brain cell membranes require these fatty acids to function properly, but our bodies produce less as we age, and many seniors don't consume enough in their diet. Vitamin D deficiency is remarkably common in people over 60, especially those who spend less time outdoors. Beyond its role in bone health, vitamin D functions like a hormone in the body and affects the expression of genes that regulate mood. Research has linked low vitamin D levels to increased anxiety and depression, particularly in older adults. The mistake many seniors make is assuming their diet is adequate, or that a basic multivitamin will cover all these needs. Unfortunately, age-related changes in digestion, medication interactions, and specific increased requirements mean that many older adults need targeted nutritional support. The solution isn't to randomly take supplements, however. The key is to work with healthcare providers who understand geriatric nutrition to identify your specific deficiencies and address them properly. Simple blood tests can reveal deficiencies in vitamin D, B12, and other key nutrients. For magnesium, which is harder to measure accurately in blood, Paying attention to symptoms and dietary intake is important. If you're experiencing anxiety, ask your doctor specifically about testing for these nutritional factors before automatically assuming you need anti-anxiety medication. Addressing these deficiencies can often reduce anxiety symptoms significantly within just a few weeks. For B12, sublingual supplements can bypass digestive issues that prevent absorption. For magnesium, forms like magnesium glycinate are better absorbed and less likely to cause digestive upset than other forms. For omega-3s, high-quality fish oil or algae-based supplements for those who don't eat fish can make a tremendous difference. And for vitamin D, a daily supplement along with brief, safe sun exposure can help maintain optimal levels. I need to pause here and ask you something important. When during your day, does anxiety tend to hit you the hardest? You know, each person experiences anxiety in unique ways, and sharing that experience might be the first step to understanding it. I know you may have never talked about this with anyone. Perhaps you think no one would understand or that your feelings aren't important, but I want you to know that here, in this space, your experience matters deeply. Leave us a comment below completing the phrase, "My anxiety tends to appear when." Your courage in sharing might be exactly what someone else needs to read today to feel less alone. And in upcoming videos, we'll specifically address these moments you share. This is a community of mutual support, where every word you share is received with respect and understanding. Now let's move on to our second powerful approach, rhythmic breathing techniques specifically adapted for older adults. This isn't just any breathing exercise, but a scientifically optimized method that takes into account the physiological changes in lung function that occur after 60. When anxiety strikes, your breathing pattern changes, often becoming shallow and rapid, which triggers your body's stress response and creates a vicious cycle. Breaking this cycle through controlled breathing is one of the fastest ways to reduce anxiety symptoms, and it's completely free and always available to you. The 4-7-8 breathing technique, developed by Dr. Andrew Weil, has been particularly effective for many seniors. It works by activating your parasympathetic nervous system, the part responsible for rest and relaxation. Here's how to do it. Sit comfortably with your back straight. Place the tip of your tongue against the ridge behind your upper front teeth, and keep it there throughout the exercise. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound. Close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose to a mental count of 4. Hold your breath for a count of 7. Exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound to a count of 8. This is one breath cycle. Repeat this cycle 3 more times for a total of 4 breaths. What makes this technique especially suitable for seniors is that it doesn't require deep breathing that might be difficult for those with respiratory limitations. Instead, it focuses on the ratio of inhalation, holding, and exhalation, which naturally slows your breathing rate and increases oxygen saturation in your blood. Research shows that practicing this breathing technique regularly, not just during moments of anxiety, can lead to long-term changes in your stress response system. Many of our viewers report that after doing this exercise twice daily for 3 weeks, they experience fewer anxiety episodes and can fall asleep more easily. One 72-year-old viewer shared that after decades of taking sleep medication, she was able to reduce her dosage by half after incorporating this breathing practice into her bedtime routine. Another important breathing technique is diaphragmatic breathing, or belly breathing. As we age, we tend to breathe more from our chest, rather than our diaphragm, which can contribute to a chronic state of low-level anxiety. To practice diaphragmatic breathing, place one hand on your chest and the other on your abdomen. Take a slow breath in through your nose, ensuring that your abdomen expands while your chest remains relatively still. Exhale slowly through pursed lips, gently contracting your abdominal muscles. This technique helps maximize lung capacity and efficiency, which naturally decreases with age. For those with mobility issues who spend more time sitting, practicing these breathing techniques in a comfortable chair can prevent the shallow breathing that often occurs with prolonged sitting and contributes to anxiety. Some seniors find it helpful to schedule breathing sessions throughout their day, perhaps with a reminder on their phone or linked to regular activities like mealtime or television commercial. This creates a rhythm of relaxation throughout your day that can significantly reduce baseline anxiety levels. The beauty of breathing techniques is that they're discreet. You can practice them anywhere, whether you're sitting in a doctor's waiting room, feeling anxious about an upcoming appointment, or in a social situation that feels overwhelming. No one will know you're using this powerful anxiety management tool. And unlike medication, there are no side effects, no risk of dependency, and no interactions with other treatments you might be receiving. Our third approach addresses a particularly troubling form of anxiety that affects many older adults: anticipatory anxiety. This is the worry about future events that may trigger anxiety symptoms, creating a fear of fear itself that can become debilitating. For many seniors, this manifests as avoiding activities or places due to worry about having an anxiety attack while there. This type of anxiety can severely limit your, leading to isolation and a reduced quality of life. Cognitive reframing is a powerful technique from cognitive behavioral therapy that can break this cycle. It involves identifying anxious thoughts and systematically challenging and replacing them with more realistic and helpful perspectives. For example, if you've been avoiding family gatherings because you're worried about having an anxiety attack in front of everyone, cognitive reframing helps you recognize catastrophic thinking patterns and replace them with more balanced thoughts. Instead of thinking, if I have an anxiety attack at the family dinner, it will be humiliating and everyone will think I'm losing my mind, you might reframe it as, if I feel anxious during the dinner, I can use my breathing techniques or step outside for a few minutes. My family cares about me and would understand. What makes this technique particularly effective for seniors is that it builds on the wisdom and perspective that come with age. You've likely overcome numerous challenges throughout your life, developing resilience and problem-solving skills. Cognitive reframing taps into these strengths. To practice cognitive reframing, start by keeping a simple log of anxious thoughts. When you notice anxiety building, write down the specific thought triggering. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? Am I focusing on the worst possible outcome? What would I tell a friend who had this thought? What evidence contradicts this thought? Then write down a more balanced alternative thought. This process might feel awkward at first, but with practice, it becomes more natural and eventually automatic. One 68-year-old viewer shared that after practicing cognitive reframing for a month, she was able to return to her beloved community choir, an activity she had abandoned due to panic attacks during performances. By reframing her thoughts about what might happen if she felt anxious during a performance, and having a plan in place for managing symptoms, she reclaimed an activity that brought her immense joy. For seniors who find writing difficult due to conditions like arthritis, recording these thought exercises using a voice memo app on a smartphone or tablet can be an effective alternative. Some find it helpful to do this practice with a trusted friend or family member who can offer perspective and support. The goal isn't to eliminate all anxious thoughts, which would be unrealistic, but rather to create enough space between the thought and your reaction to it that you can choose a healthier response. This cognitive flexibility is something we can maintain and even strengthen as we age, contrary to the myth that older adults can't change their thinking patterns. In fact, research in neuroplasticity shows that our brains remain capable of forming new neural pathways throughout our lives. The fourth approach targets a common but often overlooked source of anxiety in older adults: disrupted sleep patterns. The relationship between sleep and anxiety is bidirectional, meaning poor sleep can trigger anxiety, and anxiety can lead to sleep problems, creating a difficult cycle to break. As we age, natural changes in our sleep architecture occur, including spending less time in deep, restorative sleep stages. Additionally, conditions common in older adults such as arthritis pain, need to urinate during the night, and side effects from medications can further disrupt sleep. When you don't get enough quality sleep, your brain's emotional processing center, the amygdala, becomes more reactive to negative stimuli, while the prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational thinking and emotional regulation, functions less effectively. This creates the perfect storm for anxiety to flourish. Sleep hygiene, a set of practices and habits that promote good sleep quality, becomes increasingly important after 60. This isn't about basic advice like avoiding caffeine, which most people already know. Instead, it's about creating a comprehensive sleep optimization strategy tailored to the needs of older adults. Light exposure plays a crucial role in regulating your circadian rhythm, which tends to shift with age. Many seniors don't get enough bright light exposure during the day and are exposed to too much artificial light in the evening, disrupting the body's natural sleep signals. To counter this, spend at least 30 minutes outdoors in natural light each morning if possible, or sit near a bright window. In the evening, dim your lights and use amber or red light sources, which have less impact on melatonin production. Screen use before bedtime is particularly problematic for sleep quality. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers suppresses melatonin production, and the stimulating content can keep your mind active when it should be winding down. Create a technology curfew for yourself, putting away all screens at least 1 hour before bedtime. Instead, engage in calming activities like listening to soft music, gentle stretching, or reading a physical book. Temperature regulation becomes more challenging as we age, and being too hot or too cold can significantly disrupt sleep. The ideal sleeping temperature is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit for most people. Consider using layered bedding that can be easily adjusted during the night, and moisture-wicking sleepwear if night sweats are an issue. Consistency is perhaps the most powerful component of good sleep hygiene. Going to bed and waking up at the same time every day, even on weekends, helps reinforce your body's sleep-wake cycle. For many seniors who no longer work, maintaining this consistency can be challenging but is worth the effort. Create a pre-sleep ritual that signals to your body that it's time to wind down. This might include light stretching, a warm bath, or a cup of caffeine-free herbal tea. Over time, these activities become cues that trigger your body's relaxation response. If you find yourself unable to fall asleep within about 20 minutes, or if you wake during the night and can't go back to sleep, don't stay in bed tossing and turning, which can create an association between your bed and wakefulness. Instead, get up and do something relaxing in dim light until you feel sleepy. For those who experience anxiety specifically around bedtime, worried about whether they'll be able to sleep, cognitive techniques can be helpful. Remind yourself that even if you don't sleep well one night, it's not catastrophic. Your body has natural compensatory mechanisms to help you function, and worrying about sleep only makes it more elusive. Many of our viewers have found that addressing sleep quality has had a profound impact on their anxiety. One 75-year-old gentleman shared that after implementing these sleep hygiene practices for just 2 weeks, his daytime anxiety decreased dramatically, and he no longer needed the anti-anxiety medication he had been taking. The fifth approach focuses on movement patterns that can significantly reduce anxiety in older adults. This isn't about high-intensity exercise, which can be intimidating or inappropriate for many seniors, but rather about specific types of movement that have been shown to reduce anxiety while being gentle on aging bodies. Tai Chi, often described as meditation in motion, has been extensively studied for its effects on anxiety in older adults. This ancient Chinese practice involves slow, flowing movement, combined with deep breathing and mental focus. What makes it particularly suitable for seniors is that it's low impact, can be adapted for almost any fitness level, and can even be practiced sitting down if mobility is limited. Research has shown that Tai Chi helps reduce anxiety through multiple mechanisms. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, promoting relaxation, improves balance and reduces fear of falling, a common anxiety trigger for older adults, and provides the mental benefits of mindfulness in an accessible form. Many communities offer Tai Chi classes specifically for seniors, and there are also excellent videos online that can guide you through simple sequences at home. Gentle yoga is another powerful movement practice for anxiety reduction in older adults. Specific poses like forward bends, gentle twists, and supported inversions have a calming effect on the nervous system. Chair yoga makes these benefits accessible even to those with significant mobility limitations. The combination of movement, breath awareness, and mindful attention in yoga helps break the cycle of anxious thoughts while releasing physical tension that both results from and contributes to anxiety. One study found that older adults who participated in a gentle yoga program twice weekly for 12 weeks experienced a 30% reduction in anxiety symptoms compared to a control group. Walking meditation combines the anxiety-reducing benefits of physical activity with mindfulness practice. Unlike regular walking for exercise, walking meditation involves slowing down and paying deliberate attention to the sensations of walking, the feeling of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your breathing, and the sights and sounds around you. This practice helps anchor you in the present moment, interrupting the future-focused worry that characterizes anxiety. For those who find traditional meditation challenging due to restlessness or difficulty concentrating, walking meditation can be a more accessible entry point. Water-based movement, such as water aerobics or simply walking in a pool, offers unique anxiety-reducing benefits for seniors. The buoyancy of water reduces pressure on joints, allowing for greater freedom of movement. The sensory experience of being in water, including the gentle pressure against your skin and the sound isolation that often occurs when your ears are partially submerged, can have a calming effect on an overactive nervous system. Additionally, the focus required to maintain balance and perform movements in water naturally pulls attention away from anxious thoughts. What all these movement approaches have in common is their emphasis on connecting mind and body, bringing awareness to the present moment, and creating a sense of agency and capability that directly counteracts the helplessness often associated with anxiety. Many seniors find that incorporating even 15-20 minutes of these types of movement into their daily routine can significantly reduce overall anxiety level and provide an effective tool for managing acute anxiety episodes. Our sixth approach addresses the powerful connection between social engagement and anxiety reduction in older adults. Loneliness and isolation have reached epidemic proportions among seniors, with research showing that social isolation increases the risk of anxiety and depression as much as or more than physical health factors. The loss of work relationships after retirement, friends and family moving away or passing on, and mobility challenges can all contribute to a shrinking social world as we age. This social disconnection creates a neurobiological stress response, triggering inflammation and hormonal changes that directly impact mental health. However, meaningful social connection acts as a natural anxiolytic, reducing stress hormones and increasing feel-good neurotransmitters like oxytocin and serotonin. The key word here is meaningful, as not all social interaction provides the same benefits. Forced or superficial socializing may actually increase anxiety for some seniors, particularly those with introverted personalities or social anxiety. The goal is to find connection that feels authentic and supportive, rather than draining. Intergenerational relationships offer unique anxiety-reducing benefits for older. Spending time with younger generations can provide fresh perspectives, a sense of purpose, and cognitive stimulation that distracts from anxious rumination. Many communities have programs that connect seniors with children or young adults for mutual benefit, such as reading programs in schools, mentorship opportunities, or shared hobby groups. Technology can be a valuable tool for maintaining social connections despite physical limitations or geographic distance. Video calls with family members, online communities centered around shared interests, and even text messaging can provide meaningful. One 83-year-old viewer shared that joining an online book club specifically for seniors dramatically reduced her anxiety by giving her both intellectual stimulation and social connection from the comfort of. Pet companionship deserves special mention as a form of social connection that can significantly reduce anxiety in adults. The unconditional acceptance and physical affection provided by pets fulfills basic emotional needs, while also establishing helpful routines and encouraging physical activity. For seniors who cannot care for a pet full-time, animal therapy programs or volunteer opportunities at animal shelters can provide many of the same benefits. Volunteering itself is a powerful anxiety reducer, creating purpose, community, and a shift in focus from internal worries to external contribution. Many seniors find that helping others puts their own concerns in perspective and provides a sense of efficacy that directly counteracts the helplessness often associated with anxiety. Even those with limited mobility can find volunteer opportunities, such as making phone calls to check on other seniors or participating in craft projects for charitable causes. Creating rituals of connection can help ensure social engagement is consistent, which is important for anxiety management. This might be a weekly phone date with a friend, a regular card game with neighbors, or monthly attendance at a community event. These scheduled connections provide both something to look forward to and a reliable source of support. For those experiencing social anxiety, which is common among older adults who may become unaccustomed to social interaction, a gradual approach is best. Start with smaller, more structured interaction, and slowly expand your comfort. Remember that social skills are just that, skills, which can be redeveloped with practice, regardless of age. Our seventh and final approach focuses on sensory techniques that can quickly interrupt anxiety, and as we age, our sensory processing may change, but our ability to use sensory input to regulate our emotional state remains powerful. These techniques work by shifting attention away from anxious thoughts and engaging different neural pathways through strong sensory stimuli. Temperature-based interventions are particularly effective for quickly reducing anxiety symptoms. The mammalian diving reflex is a physiological response that occurs when cold water touches your face, particularly around your eyes and cheeks. This triggers an immediate slowing of heart rate and a shift from sympathetic, fight or flight, to parasympathetic, rest and digest, nervous system act. To use this technique, fill a bowl with cold water and immerse your face for 15–30 seconds, or apply a cold compress to your face, focusing on the area around your eyes and cheeks. For a less intense version, simply splashing cold water on your face or placing cold packs on your wrists can help interrupt an anxiety spiral. On the other end of the temperature spectrum, warmth can also be calming for many seniors. A heating pad on the abdomen or shoulders, where tension often accumulates, can help release physical manifestations of anxiety. Some find that warming their hands specifically helps counteract the cold extremities that often accompany anxiety due to blood being directed away from the periphery during stress responses. Aroma has direct access to the limbic system, the emotional center of the brain, making aromatherapy a powerful tool for anxiety management. Lavender, chamomile, and bergamot have been particularly well studied for their anxiolytic effects. For seniors who may have decreased sense of smell, slightly stronger concentrations might be, but always introduce new scents gradually to prevent triggering headaches or respiratory irritation. Essential oil diffusers, scented sachets near where you sit or sleep, or a drop of oil on a tissue that you can smell when feeling anxious, are all simple ways to incorporate aromatherapy into your anxiety management toolkit. Touch and pressure provide another avenue for anxiety reduction. The deep pressure touch of weighted blankets has been shown to increase serotonin and melatonin production while decreasing cortisol level. For seniors who find full weighted blankets too heavy or hot, Weighted lap pads or shoulder wraps can provide similar benefits with less bulk. Self-massage of hands and feet, perhaps with a pleasant-smelling lotion, combines the benefits of touch, aroma, and mindful attention for a multisensory anxiety intervention. Sound-based techniques include music that is specifically designed to reduce anxiety, typically with 60 beats per minute or less, which helps slow breathing and heart rate through a process called entrainment. Nature sounds, particularly flowing water or gentle rain, activate the parasympathetic nervous system and mask background noises that might trigger startle responses in more anxious individuals. For some seniors, especially those with hearing aids or auditory processing, finding the right volume and type of sound is important, as sounds that are too loud or complex can increase rather than decrease anxiety. Gustatory or taste-based interventions might seem unusual but can be surprisingly effective. Sucking on a strongly flavored lozenge or candy, particularly those with cooling flavors like mint or warming spices like cinnamon, provides intense sensory input that can help redirect attention from anxious thoughts. The act of sucking itself triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, creating a physiological calming response. A 4-3-2-1 grounding exercise combines multiple senses and is particularly helpful for more intense anxiety moments. Identify 4 things you can see, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can hear, and 1 thing you can smell or taste. This forces your brain to focus on immediate sensory input, rather than future worries or past regrets. Many seniors keep a written reminder of this exercise in their wallet or purse to reference during anxious moments. What makes these sensory techniques particularly valuable for older adults is that they provide immediate relief without side effects, can be used alongside other treatments including medication, and help rebuild a sense of agency, the feeling that you can do something to manage your own anxiety, rather than being at its mercy. We've covered 7 powerful approaches that can help you manage and reduce anxiety after 60, addressing nutritional deficiencies that affect brain function, using adapted breathing technique, applying cognitive reframing to break the cycle of anticipatory anxiety, optimizing sleep quality, engaging in appropriate movement practice, fostering meaningful social connections, and utilizing sensory techniques for in-the-moment anxiety. By combining these approaches based on your specific needs and preferences, you can create a comprehensive anxiety management strategy that works for your unique situation. Remember that progress may be gradual, and that's completely normal. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small improvements, as they often lead to significant long-term change. If you found value in this information today, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel for more content on maintaining mental wellness as you age. If you're seeking more peace and tranquility in your daily life, our channel is a safe space created especially for you. Each week we share simple and effective techniques that have helped thousands of people regain their peace. We're together on this journey, and every step you take toward well-being matters. Click the subscribe button below and turn on notifications to receive our videos as soon as they're published. Remember, you don't need to face anxiety alone, and small changes can make a big difference in your quality of life. In the comments below, let us know which of these approaches resonated most with you, or share a technique that has helped with your own anxiety. Your experience might be exactly what another viewer needs to hear today. Until next time, remember that anxiety doesn't have to be your constant companion after 60. You deserve to experience the peace and joy that these years can bring.